Okay, so we're gonna talk about Bottoms today. So this is Emma Seligman's second movie. I actually haven't seen Shiva Baby. It's been on my list for like forever, but it's just one of those things I haven't gotten to. By the way, let me know if you'd want like me to film my reaction to it. I'm definitely gonna watch it. But I'm familiar with Emma Seligman in that way, and so I was excited for this. This had a really good cast. The poster, just everything about it, and almost just like the vibes it was putting out, I was like, okay, period. And then I watched Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I can't lie, I'm a little psychotic over Nicholas Gallatin right now, so like, it was just a perfect storm. And I love Rachel Sennett in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I love Io Debris in The Bear. Like, and everything that all of them do, honestly.
Are you sure about that?
This cast was just like so great. So I was really excited. And just, again, just like the poster itself seemed super like camp and kind of like channeling another time almost, but also very modernized. And the fact that it's called Bottoms and like even the poster, it's just like, it's like the gayest poster I've ever seen. Which, love to see it, as we should. How many straight posters have we seen? You know what I'm saying? Equality.
I played the role of an amazing ally.
Okay? Anyway, I'm channeling Isabel, if you can't tell. If you see in the movie, you know, you know. But I just wanted to talk about it. So I actually just got back from my second time seeing it, and the first time I saw it, I ended up being late. I missed, like, probably the first 15 or 20 minutes, so I really needed to see it again in order to get the full picture. This movie is hilarious. This movie's so interesting because it's very unique, but it also has so many references to so many different movies beforehand, so there's a lot that's familiar about it, but the spin that it has on things is, I feel, very, like, unique, kind of niche, a very specific kind of humor, and while, like, some of the jokes and some of the bits would have been in a bunch of other movies, and maybe have been, there's still a lot that makes it very unique, and I think that has a lot to do with the actors. I mean, Rachel Sennett and Io Debris are genius. They are some of the funniest people in the industry right now. They're fucking hilarious. Like, and they can't even help but be. Like, I don't even know that they tried. They just are. You know what I mean? They're just fucking hilarious. Rachel Sennett in Bodies, Body, you have got that. She was the best part of that movie.
I understand, and I'm an ally. A podcast takes a lot of work, okay? You have to organize the guests, you have to do a Google Calendar, and you build a following. It takes a long fucking time. Your parents are upper middle class.
She was, okay, I'm sorry, she was. She fucking cracked me the fuck up. She killed that shit. And that was a similarly kind of like socially aware, bit of a social commentary, bit of making fun of Gen Z and like stan culture, that type of stuff, and this has a similar vibe, but it's very interesting because the other thing about this movie is it kind of takes place, at least in my eyes, in like a time vacuum. It's not entirely clear when this is supposed to be set. There is, at one point, I was looking for cell phones because I was trying to figure out if they were going to just leave it ambiguous, and they had a scene with a Razor phone and a phone book, so, you know, you can assume Razor came out in like 2004, so you can assume maybe early 2000s. I don't think it's really that big of a deal, regardless, because they kind of pull from so many different types of things. Like, there's a lot of rhetoric in this that is very 2023. There's a lot of kind of like inside jokes and kind of winks and references to Gen Z, really, and the way we talk and stan Twitter and pop culture. And also what's funny about it is the wardrobe is undoubtedly, seems not vintage, but from a while ago. Like, it seems like it's from anywhere from the 80s to maybe early 2010s, Y2K as they called it. But since those styles are making such a comeback in modern day, it could easily pass as just a 2023 high school student body. Like, easily. Like, these are the things that kids wear. Like, there were some outfits that Kaya Gerber had that, like, were very Maddie from Euphoria. So all of it, kind of like the aesthetic is very, to me, felt very 90s. Some of the humor was raunchy and offensive in a way that felt like early 2000s, which I loved and I appreciated. But then again, sort of just the vibe was very modern, very current. And, you know, like, it's funny how things go in and out of fashion because you could easily think that all this fashion and all of the aesthetics of it are from 2023, whereas I think it's trying to channel a time a while ago, but I really liked that element of it, that it kind of existed in a vacuum, and I wasn't, like, thinking too much about it. And I don't think they were either. Like, I think they kind of just had a vibe that they wanted to go for, and they were going for it. You know what I mean? They were kind of referencing some other things. They were kind of making fun of some of those types of movies while putting a new spin on it. One of the things I really noticed was cinematography in conjunction with production design. You know, the costumes, the makeup, the hair, just the little details of the school, like the lunchroom and, you know, what's on their lunch tables and what's in their rooms. All of that stuff was really, really, I feel like, meticulously chosen to fit this vibe and this kind of like mood board that they're setting for this world that exists in the Bottoms universe, whenever it is, wherever it is. It probably defies so much logic, so it might defy space and time, who knows. But I love it. I wish I lived in this world. I wish this was the world. It's so funny to be reaching a point where filmmakers are not that much further from me in age, and it's such a bizarre experience because there's a scene in which Avril Lavigne's Complicated plays. I, like, gasped in the theater, and I was the only one, but I was like, I cannot believe Complicated by Avril Lavigne is playing in an ironic yet unironic way to this like sad montage in this film right now, like in the big screen in 2023. Like that is my shit that I grew up on. I knew every single word. Like it's just so funny to think about people being around my age creating, and you know, hopefully I'm gonna do the same, where very specific references to certain times, certain artists, certain generational understandings and things like that are coming into it, and I just felt very, I guess, understood or seen in that way. Like when that came on, I was like, I cannot believe this is in like a movie right now, like on the big screen. This is crazy. Everyone I feel was pretty pitch perfect on their performances. Like they did exactly what they needed to do. A lot of it did feel like improv, and at the end they give kind of a bloopers, outtakes kind of thing, and it's clear that some of these scenes are like very improv. And I think that energy is really nice with it, and you can almost tell it's kind of like always teetering a line between like almost breaking and, you know, kind of breaking the fourth wall, but also being serious, but also being self-aware and meta, that you're like, no, this is so unserious. Whatever's happening right now is so fucking ridiculous. So it made fun of itself, and I thought it was really self-aware that way, which I love. I love to see that. And I feel like you can almost get away with a lot. I mean, you have to do it correctly, but like you can get away with doing a lot that's maybe not like politically correct if you do have a sense that like you understand that this is camp, that this is parody, that this is, it's like so many other, like some of it reminded me of a scary movie, like a literal parody movie. It had some like Heathers, it had some Scream Queens, a lot of Ryan Murphy vibes. I haven't seen But I'm a Cheerleader, but I know that people were referencing that. A lot of these types of movies from all sorts of decades past, it's really referencing and kind of channeling. But at the same time, like I said, there's a lot that makes it unique. And I feel like it's a very kind of niche thing. Like I think the people who are going to love this movie are going to love this movie, and the people who aren't gonna love it are just kind of gonna be like, yeah, fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's so specific and so granular, which I think is a really smart thing, especially for new directors, and unfortunately new female directors to be doing, because like Greta Gerwig in Lady Bird, like tapping into that very, very specific experience is often a really good way to have a larger message and larger meaning, and to be relating universally despite the circumstances being so specific. It's a very kind of smart way to do that. So with this specific type of humor and the specific type of vibe, these specific type of performances, which again, like, are very parody-esque, it's very clear that they all know what they're doing. Like at every step, they're doing just the right thing. Again, I can't say it enough. Rachel Sennett and Io Debris are just so fucking funny. They are so good in this and in everything that they do. I cannot wait to see them in everything. Like, they are so fucking funny. Oh, Pitch Perfect was another thing that I thought with some of it, and it's produced by Elizabeth Banks, so, you know, some of those vibes are kind of carrying over a through line. And then Nicholas Galatine, like, it's so funny, because he's not, I wouldn't consider him, like, a comedian or a comedic actor. I don't see him as that, I guess, even though, I mean, we've seen Cinderella.
I work hard every day of my life. I work till I ache in my bones.
He can do camp. He can do bizarre, absurdist, weird, you know, situations. And he fucking nailed it. He reminds me very much of like a Ryan Gosling type, like a traditionally dramatic actor who is just a good actor and therefore can adapt really well to comedy and can really zero in on a very specific type of character, very specific type of delivery. Like he was great. He was very much like probably one of the most parody-esque characters that there was, but he was hilarious. I mean, that scene, and I saw this before the movie, that scene, I'm gonna play it, but like that scene in the car.
Isabel?
Get out of the car.
You can't tell me what to do!
Yeah, no, he can't.
Okay, I'm sorry that I looked at Mrs. Riley and lightly grazed her left tit, all right?
Move, you prick! Excuse me, she said move, prick.
Don't talk to me, you ugly bitch, okay? I do not talk to girls in overalls.
Okay, I might be ugly, but these aren't overalls.
Isabel, get out of the freaking car! Get out! Get out!
I
Come
feel
on!
like we should just drive.
Yeah,
let's just go.
You're being really
just,
mean
just,
right now.
Just move a little.
Not moving.
He's gonna move.
We're about to drive. You should
Isabel?
move.
Drive.
Just drive. Josie, go.
Right. Pedal to the metal. Drive.
Oh my god.
His line deliveries are just so good. It's, again, like I said, like the himbo-ness, just the understanding the assignment-ness of the line delivery in that scene particularly very much reminded me of a lot of the clips that we got from Ryan Gosling and Barbie, where like, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Because we're girlfriend, boyfriend.
And
Treading waves is much more dangerous than people realize.
You're very brave, Ken.
Thank you, Barbie.
Yeah,
You know surfer's not even my job.
I know.
And it is not lifeguard, which is a common misconception.
my job is beach.
My job? It's just beach. Hey, Barbie.
Yeah.
Can I come to your house tonight?
Sure. I don't have anything big planned, just a giant blowout party with all the Barbies and planned choreography and a bespoke song. You should stop by.
So cool.
Those clips that came out, it's very much kind of the same energy where it's like, oh, you are understanding the assignment and eating it down. Okay, I see. Everyone was also so pretty, you know, like, it's funny, they had an ongoing joke about, like, well, the ugly, untalented gays report to the principal's office, which I loved. Again, like, kind of inflammatory, kind of ridiculous, kind of offensive. We love to see it. We love, like, raunchy comedies, and especially when it's done from this perspective, especially from someone that is more of, like, I guess a marginalized group, like a woman. I think it's a really unique take to be combining all these different inspirations of film past and incorporating it, but at the same time, it has more substance and depth behind it, and it is more aware. You know what I mean? Like, it knows what it's doing and it's making fun of itself at the same time. And also making commentary while doing the offensive stuff. The truth is, like, offensive, raunchy, ridiculous, absurd comedies and lines are funny. Like, they are gonna be funny. They just are. Because they're so absurd. And this definitely ventures into a territory of just total absurdity. You know, like, there's so much that it just starts being, like, you know, not in the realm of reality whatsoever, which I loved. And it worked. And I was like, period. Okay. And again, the vibe just fit with it. It was a really easy progression into that. But another thing that I think this movie did really well, maybe my favorite thing about it, despite being very funny, very raunchy, kind of offensive, absurdist, all of these types of things, which again plays into, like, traditionally, I guess, harmful stereotypes or treatment towards women, toward gay people, like all that type of stuff that has been in our history, right? It's playing into that, but at the same time, it's turning right back around and immediately giving commentary, but it's not telling you, it's showing you. And this does it perfectly. It straddles that line perfectly. It is right on the nose. It is teetering this line right where it's, like, not falling into too much self-awareness, not falling into too much offensiveness. Like, it is just really, it's doing a really good job of making points without it being like I'm making a point, and this is the point of the movie, and this is the point that's made about women and about society and how they treat women. It doesn't need to be said. It doesn't need to be articulated because it's already baked into the formula, in the content itself. Like, for example, one thing that comes to mind, there's a scene where one of the girls, she's talking about her stalker, and it's very casual. It's like, she's like, yeah, my stalker, and I filed a police report against him, but they said that they can't do anything until he hurts me, and then he threatens to kill me, but that's not enough, so I have to wait until he actually kills me, and it's just, like, annoying. That type of... perfect. I mean, the commentary on womanhood, on misogyny, on patriarchy, on all of that, in a very realistic way that doesn't feel like, I'm teaching you a lesson right now, this is the message, feminism, but in a way that just comes from, like, an inherent and innate understanding of the experience of being a woman, and it's funny because it's true. You know what I mean? And I just loved, they had so many moments like that where they really did that really, really well. So it was hilarious, it was bright, it was colorful, it defied time and logic and space, it was absurd, it referenced a lot of other things, felt very original at the same time. It kind of really teetered on a bunch of different conflicting lines. Everybody was great in it. Marshawn Lynch was also great in it. Everyone was so pretty also. I know I've said this, but, like, everyone was so pretty. I was just, like, looking at everyone, I was like, so pretty. Like, I don't know, I just love looking at pretty people. Can you blame me? So yeah, I love this. I think it's gonna be a cult classic. I think it's amazing, incredible, show-stopping, never been done before.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before.
We love to see it. We love to see this type of creation from women. Thank you, Emma Seligman and Rachel Sennett. Thank you. I bow down to you. I hope to join your ranks soon. And I just love that this movie exists. I just love that it exists. I think it's just pitch perfect. And not, you know, pitch perfect, but pitch perfect. Tone, theme, comedy, all of it. Camp, okay? So camp. It was so funny. I love it so much. Anyway, so that's, like, first thoughts for you. Yeah, I guess let me know things down below to react to. I'm thinking maybe Young Royals. I have a whole list of things. The after movies, and with an E, like, there's a bunch of stuff I'm considering, so leave suggestions, leave comments about what to do next, videos, other movie reviews, other types of, you know, reviews, things like that having to do with movies or TV shows, media in general. Let me know. Okay, goodbye!